tenemos Dr. Loren aquí. We have Dr. Loren here. Okay, Lauren, I'm just going to change the layout a bit here because we are streaming both on Instagram and YouTube.
Okay,
So,
sounds good.
yeah, so I'm still playing with the thing. Okay, so now you should be big, I should be small, and we are actually recording it today as well, and it's on both platforms.
Good for you, Zoe. Good for
Yeah,
you.
right. But there is some sound issues, so we are still trying it out, but it's better than last time.
Good.
So, yeah, so let me just say to the audience in Spanish what just happened. Yo estoy explicando qué está pasando con la transmisión porque estamos intentando trabajar con esta aplicación y ahora voy a, a hacer bienvenido a Dr. Loren. Okay, thank you so much for being here, Lauren. Welcome.
Oh,
You
thank
can
you for
sit
the
one coffee.
opportunity. Thank you. It's good to be here.
How are you doing today? How is San Diego today? ¿Qué tal hoy en San Diego?
Well, it's beautiful as always. It's a very nice day.
Oh, siempre bonito. El clima es siempre bonito como siempre. Okay. Yeah, we are already getting some highs from Yanela, Gabi, Piuli. I don't know how many people are online actually because the interface doesn't let me see it. But yeah, it's usually about 30 or something. So, and then there's going to be some people on YouTube as well. The channel I have now has already over 3,000, almost 3,500 people. So yeah.
Oh, wow.
I
That's
know,
great.
right?
Congratulations.
Es insane. Te estoy diciendo que tenemos como 30 personas en línea y que el canal tiene como más que 3,000. All right, Lauren. So I invited you to talk about stuck energy and its influence on abundance. Tenemos Dr. Loren aquí a hablar de la energía atascada y su influencia abundancia. So yeah, what are your first thoughts when I when I come to you talking about it?
Well, well, probably on this topic, the way to really relate to what we're talking about is it's a common thing, everybody knows it, that we tend to be in the same socioeconomic class as our parents, whether it's
Oh,
low, middle, or high. And that's the perfect example of having their energy stuck in our field that tells us how much money we're comfortable making.
I love that. Okay. Loren está diciendo que la primera cosa que lo viene es que tenemos la tendencia de estar en el nivel mismo de abundancia socioeconómica como nuestros padres. Y con esto tenemos los programas, las imágenes atascados en nuestro sistema de nuestros padres. Aha, wow, yeah. I actually think of abundance also not about money, but yeah, we can totally go with that because I think the audience will be more interested in that. That's kind of the human tendency. Estoy diciendo que yo pienso de abundancia de otras maneras también, solo no socioeconómico, pero esto es que es importante, interesante. Okay,
Yeah.
yes,
So
love that.
so I remember when I told my parents that I was going to leave engineering and try to be a professional psychic. And my father said there is no way to make a living as a psychic. So that's the prime example. If I would have taken that energy into my field, I wouldn't be talking to you now.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Loren está diciendo, un ejemplo de esto es cuando dijo a su padre que va a salir al trabajo de ingeniera y va a trabajar como un psíquico, que su padre dijo que no puede ganar dinero con esto, ¿no? Y si acepto esa energía en su sistema, ahora no podría estar aquí con nosotros haciendo ese trabajo. Ujú.
Yeah, and I think the energy that we get stuck in our field, some of it we know because we have thoughts about it, but a lot of it we don't know is there in what we would call unconscious energy. And we're just operating off it without even knowing.
Yeah, I think that's a really big one, right? The unconscious energy. Loren está diciendo que mucha de la energía atascada se puede ver por nuestros pensamientos. Sí, estamos observando nuestros pensamientos, pero mucha más de ella es inconsciente. Y esto es la energía que corre, de hecho, lo que está pasando mucho más. Y yo estoy diciendo, sí, que esto es la cosa mayor, pero con la energía inconsciente, que es muy importante descubrirlo. Yeah, so we kind of have to work towards revealing the unconscious stuck energy.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like, if we hear or we say to other people, oh, you just need to raise your abundance, right? People get really frustrated. They're like, don't you think I would have done that if I knew how to do it?
La cosa común es que se puede decir a una persona, tú solo tienes que elevar tu abundancia, ¿no? Y la persona te dice, no, no piensas que yo podría hacerlo si sabría cómo hacerlo. No es tan fácil, ¿no? Si no lo sé, estoy haciendo todo lo que puedo.
Yeah, and so the best way to think of it is it's a frequency of energy that is in our field and it dictates a lot of things. So like you and I always say, Jolly, you can try, but if that energy's stuck in you, you need to do energy work.
So you would say, if I understand right, what you're saying is that the stuck energy is a frequency, right? So that I know how to translate it. Loren está diciendo que la energía atascada es una frecuencia y que podemos intentar como queremos, pero si no hacemos el trabajo energético, no se mueve, de hecho. So it doesn't move, right? So if we don't do the energy work, it doesn't move.
It doesn't move, whether we know it's there or not. And for me, once I know that I'm under the influence of somebody else's energy and it's stuck in me, then I know that's half the battle. Once you know it's there, then you can really focus on it. But if you don't know it's there,
I
what are you
love
going to
that.
do?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so if you know it's there, you can work with it. Entonces, el empiezo para trabajar con la energía atascada es sabiendo que está allá, que tenemos energía de una persona que no es nuestra y que queda allá. Y el momento cuando lo sabemos, podemos cambiarlo y trabajar a removerlo. Pero la pregunta es si lo sabemos. So how do we go about finding this stuck energy? Entonces, ¿cómo encontramos la energía atascada?
Yeah. Well, now I'll shift over to contracts like I
Yes,
always like to
I
do.
love that. Okay, vamos a mirar a contratos. Okay.
So our higher self is writing so many contracts that have abundance written into them. But if the frequency in our energy field doesn't match those contracts, then we'll never see the opportunity. It'll never happen.
Wow, I love that. Okay, entonces nuestro yo superior siempre está escribiendo o tiene escritos contratos que tienen abundancia. Hay contratos que tienen abundancia y hay disponibles, pero si la frecuencia en nuestro cuerpo, en nuestro campo energético humano, no tiene la frecuencia de estos contratos, no podemos verlos. So it is a bit like having, let's say, so here in the Czech Republic and Europe, we have HBO, we have Netflix, and I'm not sure, we probably have Amazon Prime or something like that. And let's say there are more channels. There's like Channel 5 in the UK that we don't see here. And you guys, I don't know, you have CNN. So it's a bit like they exist, but we can't see them because we don't have the transmission going on here, right?
Absolutely. That's a great example.
I love that. Okay, yo estoy haciendo una comparación con canales de la televisión, de la tele, ¿no? Que aquí en la República Checa tenemos Netflix y HBO, y en Inglaterra hay Channel 5 y en América otros. Y los otros no puedes ver porque no están disponibles con la transmisión, que es tu frecuencia. Esto es la comparación y Loren está diciendo, sí, es una comparación buena. Okay, yeah. So how do we get to see them?
Well, again, whatever energy techniques you're using, and you and I are trained in the same technique, so we know what we're talking about. But to set the intention of that energy work to have you match those highest and best contracts, even if you don't know what they are.
Mhm. Entonces podemos empezar con poner la intención que estamos igualando la energía de los contratos a nuestra frecuencia energética. Y no siempre tienes que saber qué los contratos son, de hecho, para tener la intención que estás igualándolos. Okay, isn't it a bit tricky if you're not conscious of what they are? ¿No es un poco difícil si no sabes qué los contratos son?
Yeah, I think I have a good example for that.
Ujú.
What I was a very spiritual person. I was very interested in doing a lot of spiritual practices, maybe. But what started it for me is I was at a grocery store, and hanging on the bulletin board was a flyer for psychic training.
Ujú,
Now, if
ujú.
and I saw it while I was standing in the checkout line, but if I was running a different energy, I wouldn't have looked over and saw the flyer. I wouldn't have even noticed it.
Ujú, ujú. Ok, entonces el ejemplo que Loren tiene es que estaba haciendo mucho trabajo energético, mucho trabajo espiritual y un día fue a una tienda con comida y estaba una tabla de anuncios allá y estaba con algo espiritual, con un curso espiritual. Si no estaba en la frecuencia del contrato a esta Abundancia, no hubiera podido ver este anuncio allá. So you had to be in the frequency to be able to see that. Okay.
Yes. And let's say that your favorite way of moving energy is yoga. Well, then go to the yoga mat with the intention of that practice is going to align you to your highest and best contracts.
Okay.
If you're a runner, go for a
Ujú,
run with the
ujú, ujú,
intention.
ujú.
Yeah.
Ok, entonces hay más maneras de mover energía, no solo lo que hacemos, los dos hacemoslo en la manera casi misma porque somos del mismo linaje, pero tú puedes mover energía, por ejemplo, en yoga. Si te gusta hacer yoga, te puedes poner la intención cuando estás haciendo yoga que estás elevando tus frecuencias a tus contratos de abundancia. Y lo mismo puedes hacer, por ejemplo, si te gusta correr. By the way, if you're running or doing yoga in that manner, isn't it best when you do it without music or with just like spiritual music? You know, people listen to podcasts when they do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's really like a movement meditation. So
Ajá,
if
ajá.
you're listening to Lady Gaga,
Ajá,
probably not.
ajá, ajá. Sí, yo estoy la primera cosa que me vino con esto es si estás trabajando tu energía de esta manera, lo tienes que hacer en silencio, con energía, con música espiritual, ¿no? No puedes escuchar un podcast o a Lady Gaga cuando te pones la intención a mover energía así.
Yeah. And I also think, besides doing the energy work, is throughout the day, remind yourself that you're open and that you're curious and almost
Mm.
having the feeling that there's a surprise around every corner that you come to.
Yeah, that's how I think about it actually. I think about it like behind every corner. Loren, Loren está diciendo que durante tu día tú quieres poner la intención que siempre está abriendo, siempre estás curioso de las cosas y que estás curioso qué está después la próxima esquina y qué puede pasar allá. Estoy diciendo que así yo pienso del mundo energético, que no sabes qué está allá, te estás viendo más y más y yo estoy curiosa siempre que está después la próxima esquina. Yeah, that's how I see the energy world, right? That like there is so much stuff going on there, and the more you're open to it, the more you can navigate and see behind that corner.
Absolutely. Do you want to translate that?
I did say that already.
Okay, very
you know,
good.
you know what helps? I used to work as an interpreter.
Man, you're really good, man. Really good.
Yo
Yeah.
estoy diciendo que me ayuda que yo trabajé antes como una traductora. Entonces, so yeah, in the following energetic healing technique course that I'm doing starting next Saturday, so we are going to be focusing on the stuck energy in contracts, in businesses, and in spaces, and all of that we go tying it into well-being. So, what can you say about the stuck energy in businesses and spaces? ¿Qué puedes decir sobre sobre la energía atascada en negocios, en espacios, porque yo estoy haciendo el curso energético que está empezando el próximo sábado, que se trata de remover la energía atascada en ello y conectándolo a nuestro cuerpo, el bienestar para tener la abundancia.
Yeah, I'd probably talk about those two separately. I would talk about stuck energy in a physical space and stuck energy in a business. And if you have a business who has a space, that's not a virtual business, then you have to deal with both.
Loren está diciendo que lo mira aparte, la energía atascada de negocios también es diferente si el negocio tiene un espacio real y la energía atascada en cuerpo. You know what I have noticed? So when you have stuck energy, it goes actually influencing your well-being, like no matter where it is. So it goes influencing your well-being in the sense of the mind. You get fears, you get frustration, you may get depressed. And in the sense of the body, you may get pains, you may not sleep. So that's really why I'm tying it together, because it's all interconnected. Yo estoy diciendo que yo lo veo que la energía atascada en cualquier área de tu vida tiene influye también tu cuerpo. Puede tener como miedos en tu mente, tú puedes tener frustraciones, depresiones, pero también puedes tener como dolores en tu cuerpo, puedes tener problemas con insomnia, porque todo es conectado y por eso lo pongo así en el curso. So so you would put it separately.
Yeah. So, there's lots of different ways to clear a space. For forever, humans have been trying to clear their space. So, of course, the technique we're trained in has specific ways, but there's a lot of others. Sage works really well. Crystals, if that's your intention, to put crystals in the corners of your house to get the energy moving. Feng shui.
Hay muchas maneras de limpiar espacios y se hacen muchos años y años. Una de las maneras es usar salvia o cristales y te puedes hacerlo también con la enseñanza que nosotros usamos. What do you say about the crystals? I think I missed that. You said something about the crystals. Corners of the room.
Yeah, you could set up a crystal grid to keep the energy.
Te puedes hacer una red de los cristales también, ponerlos en los rincones y así se puede limpiar el espacio también. Isn't it stronger? And that's why the teaching we have, to me, feels like the primary thing and also the additional thing. To start it with the intention in your mind, and then the crystals and the sage are just like extra.
I think they're a physical representation of what you're trying to do energetically.
Okay. Yo estoy preguntando si no es más fuerte hacerlo con la intención, porque la intención de nuestra mente y así funciona la enseñanza que usamos es la primera cosa. Por eso yo lo uso como la cosa básica y después las cosas extras. Y Loren está diciendo que los cristales, la salvia, estas cosas son una representación real, material de lo que estamos haciendo con energía que es intangible.
Yeah, so if you have a crystal grid, first of all, you built it with the intention, and then you're looking at it. You see it wherever you built it. With the sage, when you light it and you're walking around the physical structure, that's your intention. So I agree.
Yeah. Entonces, cuando estás haciendo una red de cristales, una rejilla de cristales, te estás poniendo tu mente en ello también, vehículo de la intención. O tú estás mirando también. Siempre cuando lo estás mirándolo, tú estás elevando la intención. Yeah, you kind of like make the intention stronger, right? When you're looking at it every time.
Yes.
Y lo mismo pasa con salvia. Sorry, I didn't say the sage.
Yeah. And then if we're talking about stuck energy in a business, then you really want to start looking at the different components of a business. Like the way I think of it is my money, right? So who's doing my accounting? What bank am I using? In the United States, we pay income tax, so I have to have somebody prepare my income tax. So I'm going to make sure that they feel abundant.
Ujú, ujú. Y cuando miramos un negocio, miramos las cosas aparte en el negocio. Miramos cómo se ven las cuentas, quién está haciendo mis cuentas, quién es mi contador, si hay una persona que está haciendo mis impuestos, porque en los Estados Unidos se pagan impuestos también. Y la persona, quien está haciendo mis impuestos, tiene que reflejar mi abundancia o la frecuencia de abundancia que quiero también. So you say the person should be reflecting, right? Your abundance frequency. You basically should not be using people for your services, whatever it is that you would not want their life to match somehow.
Yeah, and take this for example. Let's say that I pay somebody to do my bookkeeping, my monthly bookkeeping, and I pay
Mm-hmm.
somebody to do my taxes at the end of the year. So those people come to me and they say, "Hey, I'm going to raise my prices."
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
now my reaction is good. That means you're abundant. I'm going to raise mine too. Oh no, now I got to pay more.
Okay. Imagínate dos maneras de mentalidad que puedes tener con tu contador. Puedes tener un contador que viene cada mes y hace tu contabilidad mensual. Y viene y dice que va a elevar sus precios. Y tu mentalidad ideal para igualar la frecuencia es, oh, qué bueno. Esto significa que estás haciendo tu negocio bien y que todo está yendo bien. Por eso yo voy a elevar mis precios también, ¿no? En vez de la mente, oh, qué pena, yo tengo que pagar más, qué más.
Yeah, so it's a whole different way of thinking about things. Yeah,
Entonces, esto se refleja de la mentalidad que podemos tener, ¿no? Hay más mentalidades que hay. Yeah, and the ways of thinking go changing the frequency, right, that we are in. And with that, the access to the contracts, if I'm, yeah,
absolutely.
saying it
So
right.
if my abundance is low and those people handling my money raise their price, I might feel like, "Oh my gosh." But if my abundance is high, I have the opposite reaction.
I love that, yeah. Entonces, naturalmente, nuestros pensamientos de esta charla puede saber que cambian la frecuencia y la frecuencia cambia la disponibilidad de los contratos de abundancia. Yeah, it comes to me to mind that, yeah, I decided actually when I'm like in this world, all conscious, it's so cool to realize things. So I realized one day when my boyfriend moved out and my rent went not only for him moving out, but also my landlord decided it would go up. It went up by 60%, like 60% in 2 months, right? And I decided I was going to get excited about it. I was
Yeah,
going to get excited about it, and the money was going to come. The ideas how I make the money was going to come, and guess it happened. My income doubled within a few months. Yo estoy diciendo un ejemplo de esto, cómo te puedes poner tu mentalidad. Hace un año más, cuando yo estaba con mi exnovio en este piso, se salió, nos rompimos, y el dueño de este piso también elevó el precio del alquiler. Y por eso el precio del alquiler era 60% más. Y yo decidí emocionarme por ello. Yo decidí emocionarme y encontrar la manera de ganar el dinero y en unos meses yo doble mi salario.
yeah, yeah. And so, who takes care of our money in a business is just a part of it. Let's say you have a product and you buy something from a supplier,
Ujú.
and then maybe you do something to it to make it more valuable and sell it. So now you have to look at the energy of the suppliers and the actual things, the inventory.
Ujú, ujú.
Right. So the different components of a business need to be addressed as well.
Entonces, en un negocio tenemos que mirar a todas las cosas, ¿no? Si tenemos productos, tenemos que también mirar quién es el proveedor de los productos, y también la energía de los productos. Y esto todo queremos que tiene una frecuencia alta o la frecuencia que igual a nuestra. What comes to mind, I'm not sure like if I'm not promoting something here, but well, maybe I will not say the brand, but there is essential oils I use. I actually do share the brand normally, but I don't want to make it sound here. And they do say that they are penetrate. They go in the area that this is supposed to grow, like plant wise. It's best for it there. And also, well, they distill them a bunch of times. And because of that, the vibration of the oils goes actually raising. And I must say that I never use oils that would work so much. Like, actually, never use any other ones that would have such effect. So I've been buying only those now for 10 years. So that goes showing the kind of frequency of the product, right? That you would have
Absolutely.
in your business. Yo estoy diciendo un ejemplo de aceites esenciales, no voy a decir la marca aquí, para que no se siente como una promoción. Pero lo que dicen es que son fair trade, son un negocio igual, donde se gana para la persona que lo vende suficiente, también que se destilan suficiente, que se crecen en el ambiente que es ideal para la planta, y todo eso eleva la frecuencia. Y mi experiencia es que lo funciona mejor. No tengo experiencia con otros aceites esenciales que tienen efecto, de hecho. Do you have some other example of a product that does go reflecting it?
Well, I would say this. Let's say that you make crystal kits. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so you buy your individual crystals from someone, you put them all in some place in your house, and then you package them up and send them off. So you're going to want to do energy work on the people you get the crystals from. Once they're in your house in inventory, you're going to want to do more energy work on them. You're going to
Mm-hmm.
want your packaging to look at a high
Mm-hmm.
vibration,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it goes all the way down the line.
Sí, por ejemplo, si tienes una tienda con cristales, do you still have a crystal shop, if I'm saying that?
I sell chakra balancing kits, little
Okay,
crumble
okay.
stones.
Loren vende cristales también, por eso lo sabe. Pues, si te vendes cristales, por ejemplo, el camino que puedes tener allá, y esto se puede aplicar a todo, es que cuando te estás colectando los cristales, lo quieres colectar de los recursos que sabes que se sienten bien. Y también cuando lo estás empacando, te pones energía, intención de energía buena a ello, haces trabajo energético. Y cuando la persona lo abre en su casa, también tiene que poner la intención para elevar la frecuencia más. Si lo hace, así lo tiene a la frecuencia más elevada posible. Y así puede ser con todo. So you could do it like this with everything, right? Like you're setting the intention. Yeah, I actually do that when I'm sending cards and
Yes, absolutely.
yeah, yeah. Yo hago esto con cartas también cuando lo envío y con todo. Y antes yo tuve una tienda también con aceites y cosas, y cuando estaba empacando estaba con la intención. Yeah, I was always like, when I had my well-being brick and mortar business, so I would be always like, yeah, I'm sending the love there. Let's do
Yes, yes.
that.
And so we've talked about who takes care of the money, and we've talked about
Yeah,
if we had a product, but
yeah.
let's talk marketing now. So I think of my business as having inputs into them, like my email, my social media, right? So I'm always trying to clear my email address,
Mm.
trying to clear the energy coming into my business through my marketing. And of course, you're great at it, Jolly. The high caliber marketing that you do, your images, everything.
Entonces tenemos que mirar también el negocio en marketing, ¿no? Y por eso es bueno si te miras a tu correo, si no estás recibiendo más correo que necesitas, limpias esto. Y Loren está diciendo que el nivel de marketing que yo hago con las fotos y todo esto, que esto funciona muy bien, que yo pongo buena energía en ello. Yeah, I did have to study that. Yo tenía que estudiar esto. Or like spend time with it, not just, yo tenía que pasar tiempo en ello, ¿no? Aprender un poco. Because for me, it's just like, I'm here. Hey, I'm here.
Right. Yeah. And probably another thing, about a business in general, is that it's continuously improving just the way we are.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah. Y lo que pasa con negocios también que es que se mejora siempre como nosotros mejoramos. So the other thing that comes to mind is that, so how does karmic energy goes changing the way we have stuck energy and we are abundant?
Yeah,
La otra cosa que me viene es la de la energía kármica, cómo influye esto y la energía atascada de abundancia.
yeah. Well, I think I might say two things about that. First, let's define karma. Karma is a contract from another life.
Ok,
That one,
vamos a clarificar que karma es un contrato de otra vida.
yeah, and for some reason, our soul doesn't want to destroy that contract. It wants to bring it into a new life.
Ujú. Y por una o no otro, nuestra alma, nuestro yo superior no quería acabar este contrato y lo quería poner a esta vida también, a transmitirlo a esta vida también. Ujú.
Yeah, and that's not always beneficial.
That's always not been official?
Not always.
You mean people didn't know that? Or
No, it's a lot of times it would actually be better if our higher self just canceled all of the contracts and after a
efficient,
life
you
is
mean?
over.
Okay,
And
yeah, right. Ajá. Y esto no siempre no siempre fue eficaz hacerlo, ¿no? Sería más fácil si el yo superior cancela y acaba todos los contratos entrando a la próxima vida. Okay, yeah, but it doesn't do it because you probably didn't get the learning, right?
right. I like to say experience versus learning.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Y lo pasa porque no conseguiste la experiencia, la enseñanza en la vida pasada en este tema. Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
So, one thing about everyone's higher self who's listening to this, you can really trust your higher self, or else
Oh.
it wouldn't put you in contact with information like this. I think that was one of the things that I learned when I started to consider that my higher self was creating everything that I was experiencing, that I could trust it.
Ujú, ujú. La una cosa que puedes saber si estás aquí entre nosotros es que tu yo superior es alguien que puedes tener confianza en, que puedes confiar a tu yo superior. Porque si te si te guía a estar aquí con nosotros, a recibir esta sabiduría, esto significa que puedes confiarlo. Y es que Loren podía saber cuando entró a este mundo. So how did you know? How did you know you could trust it when you...
Well,
¿Cómo lo supiste?
well, I'll tell you why I know. Is because my higher self writes contracts for things that I didn't know were possible in my
Right.
life.
Mhm.
Right. So
Mhm.
so again, if I can just get out of the way and let my higher self write those great contracts and try to match them and find them, then everything's fantastic.
Ujú, ujú. Sí, Loren no sabía los contratos que su yo superior está escribiendo, que son contratos para cosas que no pudo imaginar. Y si lo sería en la decisión de su mente humana, no podría decidir hacer estas cosas. So do you have an example of such a contract? ¿Tenemos un ejemplo?
Oh my gosh, my whole life. So I was
Mi toda vida.
so I was programmed by my parents to be a Christian wife and mother. And
Ajá.
and so when I was young, I didn't know you could be a transgender psychic. I didn't even know what that was.
Ujú. Entonces, Loren estaba programado como una mujer, como una esposa cristiana y no sabía que pudo ser una persona transgénero y un hombre transgénero.
Yeah, and I'll give you another example of being on Gaia. Like I didn't even know what Gaia was. I wasn't
Ujú.
that I had a goal and I was, attempting to get on those shows. It was just like the flyer hanging in the grocery store.
Ajá, right. No sé si lo sabe. I'm not sure actually the Spanish audience knows that. They've seen you on it. I'm not sure they have the Spanish subtitles yet, really. No sé si lo saben, pero Loren es una estrella de televisión Gaia TV. Y esto también él no sabía que existe como, como el flyer en la tienda. No sabía que lo que puede pasar cuando va a una tele de este tipo.
Yeah. And so, of course, as a result of being on Gaia, now I met you, I met people all over the world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Naturalmente el resultado de esto es que nosotros estamos aquí juntos y otra con otras personas. Muchos de los estudiantes de Loren los saben de Gaia. Yeah, lots of your students know you from TV, right? That's kind
Yeah.
of like
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. So,
TV. Hmm.
so about karma, really the only thing that we can do here on the earth plane is to send our guides and try to motivate our higher self to clean up those old contracts.
Okay, entonces la cosa que podemos hacer relacionada a karma es enviar nuestros guías aquí, que tenemos los guías energéticos, y enviarlos al mundo astral a limpiar estos contratos. So to clean those contracts and to also elevate our frequency so that we are clean, y elevar nuestra frecuencia.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How about becoming conscious of the contracts? What about that?
Well, for the way I read contracts and the way you read contracts is clairvoyantly. So I
Mhm.
can read my clients' contracts all day long, but to read my own, I'm not neutral to them. So I would have another psychic read my contracts.
Mhm.
But so that's the psychic way. The way here on earth is like we said, is to keep our frequency high and think that anything is possible, that it's we're getting close to Christmas, so a lot of times I like to run the vibration of coming down the stairs as a kid at Christmas and wondering what's under the Christmas tree.
Ok, entonces la manera metafísica, la manera energética es elevar los contratos. La manera humana es abrir que todo es posible. Y lo que Loren gusta hacer antes de la Navidad es imaginarte que estás yendo por la escalera en tu casa y estás esperando para la Navidad, para el laboro que tienes allá, con la emoción que todo es posible, todo es posible.
Yeah, yeah. And so again, I just want to really say this and help us put it into context. So right now we're enjoying each other's ideas and energy over the internet, right? But a big percentage of our brothers and sisters on the planet, their higher selves aren't writing contracts like this.
Mhm,
You
mhm.
know, and so again, we have to really honor our higher self, that it is writing awesome contracts.
Ujú, ujú. Entonces, Loren quiere decir que tenemos que valorar que ahora estamos aquí juntos, disfrutando la compañía de uno a otro, del público y todo, pero hay mucha gente en el mundo terrenal que no tiene sus yo superiores, que tienen contratos de este tipo, mostrando la sabiduría, y por eso tenemos que valorar los yo superiores. Okay, yeah. So I'm thinking, what will be the final words to be to be getting into abundance? ¿Qué son las palabras finales para llegar en abundancia?
I'll just say it and just kind of summarize it.
Yes.
Trust your higher self because it's already been writing abundance contracts. Trust
Entonces,
your higher self that there's presents under the Christmas tree, and
ajá. Oh, I
align
love that.
and align yourself to those presents.
Ajá, ok. Entonces, confía a tu yo superior que está escribiendo los contratos para que todo es posible y también valora tu yo superior y ten la confianza que hay los regalos abajo del árbol de Navidad que pueden ser limitados y todo es posible. Ujú. I love that. Yeah. Because with that, my life has changed, like, upside down from what I thought. I knew things were possible, but I didn't believe it.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm sure that, let's say, for example, when you hooked into Golden Rose, right? Like you didn't know that there was a technique like what we've been trained in
Mhm,
that
mhm.
would let anybody be psychic.
Yeah, that's just insane. Yeah. Yo estoy diciendo que con esta sabiduría, con la confianza, mi vida se completamente cambió. Y Loren está diciendo que cuando yo conecte a su escuela Golden Rose, yo no lo sabía que hay la manera que de leer energía, de cambiar energía, donde todo el mundo puede puede aprender a leer energía, a ser psíquico, a ser clarividente. Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much, Loren. Thank you so much for being here with me, with us, with the audience in English and Spanish. Oh yeah, do you want to stay for 5 minutes for some questions? Would that be okay?
Sure, I got another
Yes.
5 minutes.
Okay.
Sure.
Si hay preguntas, tenemos 5 minutos del tiempo de Loren a responder algunas preguntas. You guys, questions? I know there is some English audience as well. Nipa, who else is there? Pili. Hey guys, so do you guys have any questions? Hay preguntas. So let's see. Okay. Before I heard that there are contracts and that they could be changed, so I'm not sure that is a real question.
Yeah.
Let me see if there are some more questions there. Question on the brand of the oil. And
Yeah.
yeah, I did say that. Okay, ¿hay preguntas, chicos? Estoy dando preguntas. Estoy contando preguntas en 3, 2, 1. You guys question? Oh, we have a new question. There we go. Can the crystals be quartz?
Yeah, well, that's actually kind of the all-purpose one. Clear quartz can be grounded and set to any frequency, and it'll keep vibrating to that frequency. So
Ajá.
program it to abundance.
Sí, pueden ser, estos se pueden conectar a la tierra y se pueden cambiar a cualquier frecuencia. So you recommend quartz?
Definitely.
Okay. We have another one. Gabby Gabby is saying, how the heck do I do it again?
They take your course. That's how they do
Yeah,
it.
toma mi curso, está Loren diciendo. I think she's taking it, but she's being a little lazy. Yo creo que Gaby está en el curso, está un poco holgazán de estar en vivo. Okay. Gabby is saying also it was a great connection and I want to contact you. Okay, well, yeah, Gabby, you can do it in English only. Tú puedes hacerlo solo en inglés. What do you think of Moldavite? Moldavites come from here, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, they're meteorites, aren't they, that hit where you're
Ajá.
at? Yeah.
La Moldavita es la República Checa, no sé si lo saben. And what do you think of them?
You know what? My thing with crystals is I don't want to read what somebody else has written in a book about them. I want
I feel the
to do
same.
my own. I'm going to hold it in my hand, go into meditation, and find out what it does for me and how I should use it.
That's how I feel. Loren está diciendo que no quiere usar la sabiduría de alguien que escribió en un libro. Lo que quiere hacer con cada cristal es que tomarlo en su mano y hacer una meditación con ello y sentir la energía de ello. I actually do kind of go to the people that have the frequency I like. Well, I'm not a big crystal person, and then I kind of go and try those they say they like, and then I meditate with them and see if they meditate with me.
Yeah. Personally, what attracts me to them, first of all, is how pretty they are.
All right. Lo primero que Loren mira es como preciosos son, como se ven. Ajá. So Paula is saying, so to be getting into our abundance, we need to trust our higher self and ask them to change the contracts.
Yes, complete karma, as much karma as it will, update our contracts, and then down here on the earth plane, we need to find energetic ways to match those. And again, it could be that you meditate, that you do yoga, that you get in the water, right? But the intention is to match those contracts.
Paula, Loren está diciendo, desconfiamos en nuestro yo superior y pedimos cambiar contratos. Paula está preguntando. Y Loren está diciendo, sí, te pides que cambia tus contratos, que acaba tu karma, que actualiza tus contratos, de hecho. Y ahora en el mundo humano tú tienes que hacer cosas para trabajar con la energía, para que corre. Si es yoga, I'm looking at my dog, he just jumped on the sofa over there. Estoy mirando a Yoni que está saltando allá. Tienes que hacer, si estás trabajando con agua, que estás nadando en agua, haciendo algo para que la energía se mueva. So something to make the energy move, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It keeps coming to me. Alucinante, enlightening. Todo lo que se pide a los guías lo entrega. Daniel's asking, everything you ask of the guides they give you?
Well, I would say two things. If there's a contract for it, yes. And if you won't go into resistance to it, yes. So it's twofold. There has to be a contract and you have to match it.
Ajá. Si hay contrato para ellos, sí. Y también si tu energía se iguala, si refleja los contratos, sí. Yeah, it sounds a bit like, asking the Father Christmas, right? Like, do you deliver everything?
I want a pony.
Es un poco como Santa, sí. Yo quiero un pony. Ajá. The contracts, los contratos se limpian. ¿Qué significa? What does it mean to clear the contracts?
Well, really, contracts are our higher selves responsibility. And again, I want to say that you can all trust your higher selves because think of your life, right? That maybe sometimes you haven't had much money, but you always had food, shelter, clothing. There are so many people in this world that do not have those things. So we have, yeah.
Sorry, I forget it. Los contratos tienes que recordar que hay hecho por tu yo superior y tú puedes confiar en tu superior. Puede ser que no tuviste dinero en algún tiempo, pero siempre tuviste agua, tuviste techo, tuviste suficiente a comer.
Yeah. So the only thing we can do is to send our guides and try to motivate our higher self to do things. But again, my point is your higher self is doing things. Really, the real issue is us and stuck energy in your field, just exactly what this whole topic is about. So I really encourage people. Well, for me, I was a dumb engineer. I had to be sat down and taught an energy moving technique.
So the only thing you can do is to say, sí, la única cosa, sorry, I always forgot what language I'm talking. Ya olvidé el idioma que estaba hablando. La única cosa que puedes hacer es comunicar con tu yo superior por tus guías o tú directamente, cambiar los contratos, a elevar los contratos, pero tú tienes que confiar en ello primero, porque imagínate como Loren primero estaba trabajando como ingeniero y no estaba trabajando como un psíquico, como un clarividente, y ahora está aquí porque confío en este camino. So to be clearing it is to trust, limpiar los contratos, tener la confianza.
Well, what I do is in meditation, I'll send my guides to my higher self to complete karma and update contracts, and then to come back over here and shift me. But I'll do it while I'm washing dishes. I'll just say, guides, complete karma, update my contracts, and then set me to them.
Lo que Loren hace para limpiar los contratos es una meditación, pero también cuando está lavando los platos, puedes hacerlo, está diciendo que lo puedes hacer en cualquier momento de tu día. Envías sus guías al mundo astral a acabar la karma que se puede acabar y actualizar los contratos y después también alinear los chakras en su cuerpo humano con todo esto. And that's not to feel a suffering, right? We align the chakras in the body so that we don't feel a suffering with the change.
Yeah. And again, I would say if anybody listening wants step 1, step 2, step 3 on how to shift their energy field, you're their teacher. That's what you do.
Si alguien está escuchando a cómo se hacen el paso primero, segundo y tercero, yo soy la profesora. No, Loren está diciendo y yo lo hago para ustedes y con ustedes. So they can just trust that. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. I'm not sure who is AS, but I can answer that in a bit. That's not a question for Loren. All right, Loren. Thank you so much. Oh, wait. Okay, no, I can answer this one. Bless you.
Jolly, as always, thanks for all you do.
Thank you so much for all you do. I feel so lucky. There we go. Higher self-connected.
All right. Bye for now.
Bye. Bye. Chao a todos. Okay. Yo quedo aquí. You guys, I stay here. I can answer a few more questions. Yo puedo responder unas preguntas más. Ese está preguntando por qué no duchar después del trabajo energético. Why we shouldn't be showering after energy work. Now, this is not all schools' approach. It is a pranic teaching approach. I really like it. Actually, it's lots of religions' approach. Esto no es una actitud de todas las enseñanzas. Es una enseñanza pránica también de religiones. Y me gustó muchísimo. And what happens is that we go sitting in a magnetic field, an energy field, everything goes vibrating. Now, water goes influencing it. So if you go running water whilst energy is still working, and it works after energy work, you go changing how it works. Okay, so that's really why the victims of rape go also under shower. It's not just because they feel dirty; it's because the energy of the person gets really washed off. Es con ducharte es también porque estamos en un campo energético magnético y todo está moviendo siempre, ¿no? Y cuando estás haciendo un trabajo energético, la energía sigue trabajando también después. Y si te pones agua en ello, esto cambia el flujo. Y por eso también es la víctima de violar se ducha. No es solo para sentirse más limpia, es también limpia la energía de la otra persona. Okay, then we have another question here. How much time do you recommend for clearing your chakras? Tenemos pregunta de cuánto tiempo se recomienda limpiar los chakras. I do it every day in my energy running. I probably spent about, 10 minutes. Yo paso como 10 minutos por día en mis meditaciones. Y cada semana hago algo más largo. And every week I do something longer for about an hour where the chakras are involved as well. Either myself or with some group or expert. Mi misma o en un grupo o con un coach o experta como Loren. Pili is saying, trust higher self, look forward to presence, be grateful for the gifts, and even when they raise prices because it shows others abundance. Yes. Billy está diciendo, confía en tu yo superior, sé emocionada por los regalos, sienta el agradecimiento por los regalos y también cuando se elevan los precios, esto muestra la abundancia. Oh yes, hello Yoni. Want to say hi to everyone? ¿Quieres decir hola a todos? ¿No? ¿Sí? Yoni está caminando aquí. ¿Qué está pasando? Yoni is walking here saying like, what the heck is happening? Nipa está diciendo, me siento con mucha oportunidad. Nipa is saying, thank you, I feel very lucky. Paz primero está diciendo, cuando pedimos que cure nuestro karma a nuestro yo superior, hace la situación de lección menos difíciles para nosotras. It's a great question. So when we ask our higher self to clear our karma, is it going to make our lessons, our situations easier? Yes, it is. Sí, esto pasa, pero depende si estás listo a ello. It depends if you are ready for it. If your vibrations match that, si tus vibraciones igualan esto. Hola, Ana María. Hola, Yoni. All right. Okay, chicos, guys, thank you so much. I think we have answered quite a lot. Let's meditate out of here in a bilingual meditation. Vamos a hacer una meditación afuera, bilingüe, ¿quieren? Porque cuando estoy leyendo, yo puedo sentir que mi energía está bajando, and so no, no vamos a hacer más, ¿no? When I'm reading like more questions, I feel my energy going lower. So that's a good sign that you are good to go from somewhere. So let's close our eyes. Vamos a cerrar los ojos. And let's put the hands in the lap, palms facing up. Ponemos las manos en el regazo, las manos hacia el techo. And let's breathe in through the nose. Inhalamos por la nariz. And out mouth, boca afuera. A couple times more, unas veces más. Letting the energy of the knowledge of the healing here together sink in. Dejamos la energía de todos absorber, de la sabiduría, de la energía de juntos estar aquí. Beautiful, precioso. And notice the activated energy in the center of your head and the top of your head. Nota la energía activada en el centro de tu cabeza y tu coronilla. Notice how you more trust your higher self. Nota cómo te confías a tu yo superior más. How everything seems easier right now. Como todo se parece más fácil ahora, más posible, more possible. Now go ahead and have either my or your healing master change your grounding cord for what you're doing next. Deja que tú o mi maestro sanador cambie tu conexión con la tierra para que tú vas a hacer después de esto. And in front of your eyes, please see the backdrop of what's possible in the area where your stuck energy is. En frente de tus ojos, por favor, ve qué es posible en la zona de tu vida donde te sientes la energía atascada. And see how it's changing to something more colorful, the unlimited nature of it. Mira cómo se está cambiando con más colores, algo más ilimitado. And let it be there, like a guiding point in front of you. Déjalo estar aquí como un punto de guía enfrente de tus ojos. And no matter what you do, washing your dishes, typing on the computer, it's going to be there. You just keep following it. Y no importa qué estás haciendo, lavando tus platos, trabajando en la computadora, siempre estás siguiéndolo. Beautiful. Precioso. Above your head, see a golden sun in 3 meters of diameter. Arriba de tu cabeza ve un sol de oro de 3 metros en diámetro. And that's all you need for your next step in unblocking your energy. Fall in there, including amusement. Y deja todo lo que necesitas para desbloquear tu energía atascada para hacer el próximo paso, caer al sol de oro, incluido diversión. If you want something else there right now, please ask for it, don't be shy. Si quieres otra cosa, pídelo, no tengas dudas que puedes. Cuando está listo, when it's ready, bring it to your head. Atráelo a tu cabeza. Crack it like an egg. Rómpelo como un huevo. And let the sauce go into everywhere you release from. Y deja que la salsa va a todos los lugares donde removiste energía. Let yourself be nourished for being here. Deja todo tuyo ser alimentado por estar aquí. Tú lo mereces. You deserve it. You're amazing. Eres asombroso. And gently, without rush, you can open your eyes. Y sin prisa, puedes abrir tus ojos. All right. How do we feel? Yoni, how do you feel? How do you feel, baby? ¿Cómo se siente? ¿Cómo nos sentimos? How do you feel, guys? It has been great. I'm so happy we could do this. Qué bonito que podemos hacer esto en 2 idiomas con Loren. And that's really how I know why I had to become a language expert, no? To be able to bring this across borders. Y por eso yo sé por qué yo tenía que aprender tantos idiomas, para que yo pueda traer esta sabiduría a más gente y en más idiomas. Are you still there? How do you feel? ¿Están allá? ¿Cómo se sienten? Para que nos despedimos, so that we say goodbye. You guys alive? Am I still alive? Is it still running? Let me turn the light for you for a second. Okay. Bien, okay, perfecto. Oh, I'm amazing. You're amazing, guys. I'm so happy I can do this. All right. So one final note, una cosa final. La próxima semana está empezando el curso de mover energía, de conseguir abundancia. You guys, next week is starting the course where we are moving energy to get abundance. It's the energetic healing technique Advanced 2. Everybody from Golden Rose can enter. Para los en español, si no eres mi estudiante, tú tienes que solicitar. Yo voy a poner enlace. I'm going to drop the link here. Tenemos un enlace de Black Friday. Para español, ve abajo. I'm going to drop it here. We have 2 more things there besides the course. The course is discounted now, and then there is a great product there that you can also give to people, where I go mapping the person's stack patterns. Tenemos un producto también que es buen regalo para alguien, donde yo mapeo la energía atascada para todo el año. Hay ejercicios para todo el año, and the exercise for every month. There is an hour with me in it, and then lots of work I put beyond that, a beautiful design to it. Hay diseño bonito, una hora conmigo y mucho más trabajo afuera de esto. And there is also an energy clearing journey there. Hay también un camino de limpieza energética. Entonces hay 3 cosas en el Black Friday offer. There are 3 things there. It's the course that's starting next Saturday, where you learn how to move your energy to be abundant. You go always unblocking stuff with me. Siempre estás cambiando, moviendo energía conmigo. Esto es el curso que está empezando el sábado. Hay también este mapeo de patrones atascados y limpieza energética. All right, I think I said it all in both languages. Any questions? Message me. The YouTube thing will not naturally close, but then you can go to my Facebook, and I have a new Instagram in English. That is Jolly Energy. Tengo un Instagram en inglés que estoy empezando. Porque el original está en español ahora. Okay, I love you guys so much. Thank you. I'm so happy we could do this. And I will see you in the class next Saturday, or you message me. Nos vemos en la clase el próximo sábado, o me envían mensaje. Yoni, ¿qué dices? ¿Ya está? ¿No te gusta tu cena, no? He didn't like his dinner. Love you. Love you guys. Bye-bye.